What happens when activism lands you behind bars instead of in a classroom? For many, college is supposed to be a time of learning, growth, and challenging the status quo. But for some, speaking out comes with a price far steeper than a bad grade or a heated debate. It can mean losing your freedom, your future, and even your family moments. Mahmoud Khalil was a student leader at Columbia, using his voice to protest the war in Gaza. He was passionate, determined, and unafraid to stand up for what he believed was right. Mahmoud organized rallies, led chants, and inspired others to join him in demanding justice and peace. His activism made him a prominent figure on campus, admired by some and criticized by others. He believed in the power of free speech, something we're told is at the heart of every college campus. Universities are meant to be places where ideas clash, where students are encouraged to question authority and speak their minds. Mahmoud took that promise seriously, believing that his right to protest was protected, that his voice mattered. But when he spoke out, the government used immigration charges to silence him. Instead of engaging with his message, authorities targeted Mahmoud personally, using the tools of bureaucracy and law enforcement to make an example out of him. It was a chilling reminder that the right to dissent is not always as secure as we think. Back in March, Mahmoud, who's a green card holder, was suddenly detained by ICE. He wasn't accused of violence or destruction, but his activism put him under a harsh spotlight. The message was clear: challenge the system, and the system will push back, sometimes in the most personal ways possible. His wife was 8 months pregnant. She waited at home, anxious and alone, as the days turned into weeks. Every phone call brought hope and fear in equal measure. The uncertainty was overwhelming, and the joy of expecting their first child was overshadowed by the pain of separation. He missed the birth of his first child. The moment that should have been filled with celebration and new beginnings was instead marked by absence and loss. Mahmoud's family was forced to start a new chapter without him by their side, all because he dared to speak out. Why? Because he dared to criticize U.S. policy and support Palestinian rights. In a country that prides itself on freedom of expression, Mahmoud's experience raises uncomfortable questions about who gets to speak and at what cost. His story is a stark example of how activism can be met with retaliation, especially when it challenges powerful interests. A federal judge recently ordered his release, calling Mahmoud's detention highly unusual and saying it was an attempt to punish him for his anti-Israel speech. The evidence? No violence, no threats, no criminal activity, just the exercise of his constitutional rights. The judge's decision was a rare victory, but it came after months of hardship and uncertainty for Mahmoud and his family. No destruction, just words. Words that challenged the status quo, words that demanded justice, words that made those in power uncomfortable. And for that, Mahmoud paid a heavy price. His story is a reminder that the right to speak freely is never guaranteed. It must be protected and defended, especially when it is under threat. But here's the bigger story. If it can happen to Mahmoud, what does that mean for free speech on campus? For any of us? If a student leader at a prestigious university can be detained for his beliefs, what protections do the rest of us have? The chilling effect is real. Students and faculty may think twice before speaking out, fearing that their activism could make them targets. Colleges are supposed to be places where ideas and dissent are welcome, not where activism is criminalized. The true test of a university's commitment to free speech isn't how it treats popular opinions, but how it handles dissent and controversy. When activism is met with punishment, the entire academic community suffers. Mahmoud's story isn't just about one student. It's about the fight for free expression and the right to protest for all of us. It's about the responsibility we share to defend these rights, not just for ourselves, but for everyone who dares to speak out. When we allow one voice to be silenced, we risk losing our own. So next time you speak out, remember, the right to free speech isn't just a slogan, it's a living principle, one that must be exercised and protected every day. It's the foundation of a free society, and it's up to all of us to make sure it survives. It's something we have to defend, together, because when one voice is silenced, we all lose a little bit of our freedom. The story of Mahmoud Khalil is a call to action, to stand up, speak out, and protect the rights that define us, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come. Thanks for watching.